Hi everybody, Natasha Buttler, JCU Marketing Lecturer, and this is video 4 of our week 2 topic, which is where we're talking about the expanded marketing mix, the people, the processes, physical evidence and partnerships. Now in the previous 2 videos we've discussed the people and the process element, and I invite you to go back and have a look at those. But in this video we're going to be talking about the physical evidence and the partnership element. No, we've already spoken about the physical evidence. We're going to be talking about the processes and the partnerships element. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the process of the expanded marketing mix variable, that refers to the different stages a customer will experience while they're participating in the service or experience. This includes the flow and the progress of the customers when they engage with the product or with the business. Sensitivity, privacy and confidentiality of customer to company interactions and the digital technology all impact that service experience. So the flow and the progress of customers typically refers to the management of queues. Don't we hate queuing? It can be really unpleasant, slow and boring. Just when am I going to get to the end of the line? When am I finally going to get this over and done with? But as we know, queuing is part of our everyday lives, and we've come to expect some basic rules from businesses when it comes to managing those queues. For example, we're wanting to know that there is fair procedure for determining the order of service offered, and that should be in place. I mean, we don't like queue jumpers. No, not okay. So do we have those fair procedures in place? If there's any prioritization of service to particular customer groups, then that's clearly explained and it's justified. For example, if I'm waiting in the line at the hospital and I see a seriously injured person come in or an ambulance arrive at the emergency room, I'm kind of okay that I think that takes priority over me. But that also needs to be explained to me too, so as that customer. So we need to make sure that any prioritization is clearly explained and justifiable. So if we're making people wait, what about ensuring that they've got a comfortable and attractive waiting area? That's really desirable. So think about places where you've had to sit and wait. Often you've got the TV on, you've got some magazines sitting there, there might be a fish tank as well. So all of those elements that are helping just to be comfortable and making that waiting process a little bit more attractive. We might also use some background music to create a more relaxed atmosphere, particularly when we're on the phone waiting to get through. We might have some background music. And I know too that somewhere that I found the other day, I can't remember where it was, where they actually asked me, what type of music would I like? Would I like popular music? Would I like classical music? Would I like relaxing music? What type of music does appeal to me while I'm waiting in line? So we need to also consider what customers can do to fill their time while they're waiting, because if they're filling their time while they're waiting, they're less likely to be satisfied. And we also want to know that wait times are guaranteed, such as, if your food takes more than 15 minutes for order, it might be for free. Also too, reminding people that they're on the hold, that you're on hold. Your phone call is important to us. Your inquiry is important to us. You've progressed in the queue, because particularly when we're on the phone, we want to know that we've moved up that space, because it's not visual. We can't feel that we're getting closer to the end, particularly when you've been on hold for 10 minutes, 20 minutes. You've now progressed in the queue. We're working on it, reminding people of all of those things. So queuing is really important, and it's an important part of that process on how we work with our customers and get them to their desired outcome. Sensitivity, privacy and confidentiality are also essential to some service products, and this falls under that process category. So good examples of this include services that involve customer health, such as going to visit your doctor or asking for advice from your pharmacist. So, it's might be a little bit confidential. I don't want to be talking about that nasty rash with other people around and can hear me. Maybe, services involving financial information. So if I'm at the bank and I'm talking about how much money I have, I don't want people overhearing that, how much money I've got to invest or what I'm wanting to do with my money. And also, too, from an online perspective, we need to ensure that there is a safe storage of data collected during that service encounter. So, and that includes that safe storage of digital data. So, the aim of the customer to company interactions is to protect the customer's anonymity at all of those touch points, to ensure that information exchange isn't witnessed by other members of the public. So we can achieve that from a business perspective by having procedures and signs in place, such as wait behind the line. We might have professional services areas, such as in pharmacies, where it's, if you want to talk to a pharmacist, come over down here to that back corner. We keep customer list details private. So, for example, when we email things out to yourselves as students or even to a customer base, we make sure that we don't share everybody's details. So we keep those information private. ATMs, for example, and FPOS machines as well, they're designed to, protect people from seeing your PIN code as you're putting that into the machine. We have privacy filters for computer screens. So if you're going into a library or a public place, there might be privacy filters there, so people can't sort of jump over the top there to see what it is that you're looking at. And we've also got spots so for telephone calls can be kept private from other people. So if you're needing to get on the phone, you can do so in a quiet, private area so other people can't hear things. So the use of digital tech in the service process, it's a new and expanding area. And I know that you might not think that it's that new, but it is. It's still very new and it's evolving very, very quickly. And quite often, protecting that digital data is we're only just keeping up with people, hackers, trying to get our access to our information. So part of that too is that today many businesses such as banks and large retailers are offering self-service alternatives so our customers can reduce queuing, so that they, such as self-purchasing. You go to McDonald's now and you put your order in yourself, so you feel as though you're part of that process. That queuing, that wait is less because you're involved in that co-creation of that product as well. Self-serving tech can also be utilised by extending service hours, so such as being able to pay your bills on time, where prior to digital tech, you used to actually have to line up and physically go and pay the bills. It also impacts the service process if staff members need to use the tech as part of their customer service routine. Now, it can be cumbersome or unreliable. If the tech is cumbersome or unreliable, it can be a major barrier to that positive employee-customer service interaction. I mean, think about it. Tech is awesome when it works, but when it doesn't, it's just really frustrating, isn't it? That you kind of they're going, oh, come on, I have an expectation now that this should be working for me. So again, we need to ensure that people element, particularly from the staff personnel side, helps to create that positive customer-employee interaction if we are having issues with our digital tech. Now, we've also got that curated consumption, and this is now where customers or consumers are electing to follow the style advice or expertise of a curator through communication made available, such as your magazines, TV shows, YouTube, social media, blogs, etc., etc. So curated convenience merges the trends of curated consumption and convenient delivery of customer orders to their home or their address. So typically, a curated convenience service starts with the customer answering a couple of online questions about their style preferences and how they want to use those products. And another trend that's really emerged is from a time-poor lifestyle and people's willingness to buy products online. And that's now led to a lot of subscription services that's now been made possible through those e-commerce platforms. So for example, HelloFresh meal delivery services provides that convenience and curated and convenient service subscription to help me to satisfy my needs. So I've sort of said I have X amount of people in my family. My meal preferences are this, and voila, food rocks up at my house every week and allows me to cook my home cooked meals without me needing to go to the supermarket or even go through the entire decision making process of what's for dinner tonight, which is honestly one of the hardest decisions I think nearly every customer needs to make in their life. Finally, so we've looked at those elements of the processes and how processes come into the marketing element. Let's now have a little bit of a look at partnerships. And as I said, we're only touching on this slightly because partnerships fall more into that B2B category. And this is referred to as alliances or arrangements that organisations undertake with the view to enhance that customer experience. Now, typically, these partnerships are formed between organisations that offer goods or services that complement each other, and it might be by offering additional goods or services that will enhance that customer experience. Now, for a partnership to be successful, clear communication protocols need to be agreed on in advance. Now, an example of a really great partnership is the partnership between GoPro and Red Bull. Now, GoPro doesn't just sell portable cameras, and Red Bull doesn't just sell energy drinks, but they both have established themselves as lifestyle brands, and in particular, lifestyle brands that's action-packed, adventurous, fearless, and pretty extreme. So these shared values of those two organisations make them a really perfect pairing for co-branding campaigns, especially those surrounding action sports. So there you go, team. We've got to the end of week 2's lectures where we've discussed that expanded marketing mix. So by now you should have a really good understanding how competitive advantage can be achieved through the strategic use of the expanded marketing mix variables. You should be able to appreciate the people variable of the expanded marketing mix and how that can be used to create exceptional experiences for customers. You should be able to understand the design of physical assets, the physical evidence that can make operations run more smoothly as well as enhance that customer satisfaction. You should be able to appreciate how by a step-by-step analysis of those customer interactions with the organisation and looking at those processes can improve profitability. And finally, we've just touched on how companies use partnerships with external organisations to improve their competitiveness. So thank you so very much. I look forward to catching up with you in the workshop where we're going to discuss these elements further. But I invite you to leave any comments in the comment section on what your thoughts are on this, or any great examples you've seen of that expanded marketing mix. And in next week's videos, we're going to be discussing how the forces from the external environment can impact our marketing mix. Anyway, I look forward to seeing you then.